Hey, today we are looking at 10 everyday words and phrases that you can easily change into business English. I get lots and lots of questions about how you can improve your business English, and a common misunderstanding or misconception is that in order to sound professional, you need to use complex and complicated vocabulary, and that is just not the case. Business English is much more about communicating clearly, choosing the right level of formality, choosing the right tone, and of course, choosing the right words based on the situation. So let's take a look at these 10 everyday words and phrases and make them more professional so you can use them to level up your business English. Now, just before we jump into today's lesson, I want to remind you about my Essential English for Business course. This is an awesome self-study online course that I've created to help you communicate confidently at work. You can check out the course by clicking the link just below this lesson. Now, let's get started. Up first, we have need. Now, at work, all of us need things from other people. We need work done, we need help, we need information. There are lots and lots of things that we need, but instead of using the verb need, you can replace it with require. You can say you require something. You can also use this in passive voice, and you can say something is required. Or you can say that something is a requirement, which is a noun, all right? So I require something, something is required, or something is a requirement. So for example, we require approval before we can move forward. We require approval. We need approval maybe from the management or the CEO or my boss before we can move forward. This is a good one for emails. Let me know if you require anything else from my side. Let me know if you require or if you need anything else from my side. And one more example, a degree in business is a requirement for this position. A degree in business is a requirement for this position. So if you are looking for a job and you've been reading through job postings in English, you will likely see requirements for the job. And that just means these are the things that you need in order to be considered or to be hired for this position. So that's number one. You can replace need with require. Up next, we have a common but sometimes confusing verb, which is get. Instead of get, you can use receive or obtain. Receive or obtain are a little bit more formal, and you can choose which one fits depending on the sentence or the situation. So for example, instead of saying, I got your email, you can say, I've received your email. Receive is especially common when you are talking about emails. You send and receive them. Now, it's not to say that get is wrong in this sentence. It's absolutely not. If you are speaking to a colleague and your work environment is a little bit informal, it's absolutely okay to use the verb get. This is just when you want to be a little bit more formal. In those cases, you can replace get with obtain or receive. So another example, we have obtained 3 new accounts this month. We have obtained 3 new accounts this month. Next, we have talk about. Instead of using this common phrasal verb talk about, you can use the verb discuss. So for example, we need to talk to Joe about this before taking any action. Instead, you could say, we'll need to discuss this with Joe before taking any action. We'll need to discuss this with Joe before taking any action. Or, are you free to talk about or chat about the contract this afternoon? Instead, you can say, are you free to discuss the contract this afternoon? So if you use discuss instead of talk about, again, you are just increasing your level of formality a little bit. Number 4, instead of the verb answer, you can use respond or reply. respond or reply. For example, instead of saying, thank you for your answer or thank you for answering my email, you can type or you can write, thank you for your reply. Thank you for your reply. Or another example, imagine that you have a guest speaker who is speaking to your team or speaking in your office. Instead of saying, our speaker will be happy to answer your questions, you can say, our speaker will be happy to respond to any questions. Number 5 is a really good one to know. Instead of work with or work together, a great verb that you can use is collaborate. Collaborate. Now, collaborate is a very common verb in the world of business. You can also say a collaboration, which is a noun. So it depends on your sentence whether you should use the verb collaborate or the noun a collaboration. So for example, we are looking to work with some up-and-coming designers. We're looking to work with some up-and-coming designers. Instead, you can say, we are looking to collaborate with some up-and-coming designers. We're looking to collaborate with some up-and-coming designers. Now, there might be some other new vocabulary in this sentence. If you say we are looking to, it means we want to, okay? We want to. And up and coming means it's an adjective to describe someone that is likely to become famous or likely to become successful. And it's very often used to talk about people in creative industries like designers, singers, artists, dancers, musicians. So you can say, she's an up-and-coming singer. She's an up-and-coming dancer. She's an up-and-coming designer. Another example, if you want to ask someone to collaborate, instead of saying, would you like to work together? Would you like to work together? You can say, would you be open to a collaboration? This is a really common and very nice way of requesting to collaborate with someone. Next, we have make sure. Make sure. Now at work, I'm sure that you have to make sure of a lot of things throughout your day on a day-to-day basis. So instead of saying make sure all the time, you can replace it with the verb ensure. Ensure. Okay, so for example, please make sure Joe has everything required to complete this document. Please make sure that Joe has everything required to complete this document. Instead, you can say, please ensure Joe has everything required to complete this document. Another example, our goal is to make sure every single customer leaves happy. Our goal is to make sure every single customer leaves happy. So instead, you could say, our goal is to ensure every single customer leaves happy. So ensure is a great one, especially if you are dealing with customers or clients. All right, number 7, instead of saying do a good job or do well, you could say succeed, or to be successful. So, for example, instead of saying, I have no doubt that you will do a good job, you could say, I have no doubt that you will succeed. I have no doubt that you will succeed. Or, this training is to ensure that you do well. This training is to ensure or make sure that you do well. You can say, this training is to ensure that you are successful. This training is to ensure that you are successful. Next, we have let me know, or tell me. These are a little bit informal. Instead, you could say, inform me, or a very common business English idiom is keep me in the loop. Keep me in the loop, okay? So these are two options, inform me or keep me in the loop. Now, keep me in the loop just means that you keep someone up to date about an evolving or changing situation, all right? So, for example, instead of I will let you know when your order is ready, you could say to a client or to a customer, I will inform you when your order is ready. Or, please tell me about any updates. Instead, you could say, please keep me in the loop on any updates. Keep me in the loop on any updates. All right, number 9 is promise. If you are making a promise to a client, to a customer, to a colleague, to your boss, instead of saying I promise, which is not the most professional, you can use the verb assure. Assure, okay? So this is not the same as ensure, okay? Just pay close attention here. Instead, you can say I assure you. So, for example, let's say a customer or a client of yours has a problem and you want to tell them that you promise you're trying to fix it. Instead of saying, we promise we are doing everything we can to get this fixed, it's a little bit more professional and a little more formal to say, we assure you we are doing everything we can to get this fixed, all right? So instead of promise, try using assure. And number 10, instead of fix a problem, I have to fix this problem, you could say solve a problem or rectify a situation. So instead of the everyday verb fix, try using solve or rectify. So instead of saying, I assure you I will fix this problem, you could say, I assure you I will rectify this situation. I assure you I will rectify this situation. Or I assure you I will solve this problem as soon as possible. So there you have 10 very simple changes that you can start making to some of your everyday English to sound more professional and more formal if that is what you need, of course. Now, if you're trying to take your business English to the next level, do check out my Essential English for Business course, because this vocabulary is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to business English. That's an idiom for you. The tip of the iceberg is just the beginning, just the surface level. There's so much more to professional communication than just vocabulary. You really need to think about your tone, your clarity, your formality, the organization of your message, and all of these things are covered in the Essential English for Business course. As well, I have created a free ebook for you to help with your everyday conversations, English conversations made simple. You can also get that by clicking the link down below this lesson. If you have any questions on this topic, do leave them in the comments for me. If you liked the lesson, give it a thumbs up. And thank you so much for watching and learning with me today. And I'll see you soon in the next lesson.